Bro, thank you for choosing this video. Welcome back to this channel, a haven for Chelsea news updates. So find a comfortable seat and grab a drink, because this time I'm presenting 12 stories about Chelsea off the pitch that you probably didn't know. I hope to reach 300 likes. By liking this video, I'm even more motivated to provide as much news as possible and as interesting as possible for you. And finally, please comment where you're from. I'd love to know which countries are watching this video.
Bro, good news for Chelsea fans. Reece James is finally confirmed to be fine. After causing some anxiety by leaving the England squad, it turns out James's injury is only minor. A very minor one, bro. The Telegraph said the injury is ongoing, but not serious. The BBC also gave a positive update. James's withdrawal from the England squad was just a precaution, not due to a serious injury. So you could say this is a precautionary measure, not a warning sign. James is in excellent form under Enzo Maresca. He's playing consistently, is strong on the right, and was even the best player against Liverpool yesterday. Maresca is also very wise, deliberately managing James's playing time to avoid overuse, because we know how vulnerable he has been over the past 2 seasons. The goal? James will be fit again in time for the match against Nottingham Forest on October 18.
Bro, this is crazy. Gary Neville says Moises Caicedo is the best midfielder in the Premier League right now. The match against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge was Caicedo's stage. He not only scored a powerful rocket, but also provided a killer pass that paved the way for Estevan's winning goal. Neville even said on a Sky Sports podcast, he's 2 players in 1. He runs, he tackles, he controls. Incredible! He even said Caicedo has surpassed Declan Rice, Rodri, and even Grafenbach. Remember, this player struggled when he first joined Chelsea, but since Maresca took over, boom, Caicedo has instantly transformed into a midfield engine that fits perfectly into the team's rhythm. He's only 23, but he already looks like a truly mature player. Wow, if his performance continues like this, Caicedo could dominate the English midfield for years to come.
Bro, Peter Schmeichel stands up for Robert Sanchez. The Manchester United legend said Chelsea can still win the Premier League as long as Sanchez stays in goal. Seriously, Schmeichel firmly believes the problem isn't the goalkeeper, but the Blues' still shambolic defense. He said Sanchez isn't bad, he just looks bad because his back line often makes blunders. Goalkeepers and defenders should complement each other, not make each other's problems worse. Schmeichel also criticized Jamie Carragher for underestimating Sanchez. Carragher said Chelsea should have signed Mike Maignan or Donnarumma, but Schmeichel believes Sanchez has a strong mentality and can thrive with this team. So, are you on Schmeichel's side, believing Sanchez can still win the title with Chelsea, or Carragher's side, wanting a new goalkeeper next season?
Yo, Frank Lampard isn't kidding, bro. He just said that Moises Caicedo could be the direct successor to 2 Chelsea legends, N'Golo Kante and Claude Makelele. Lampard spoke on TalkSport saying Caicedo can do Makelele's dirty work, but he also has Kante's energy and goal instinct. And sure enough, against Liverpool yesterday, he wasn't just a wall in the middle, but also scored a rocket from long range. Lampard only gave one message: consistency. If Caicedo can continue performing like this, he will become a Stamford Bridge legend. It's crazy. From a player who was once criticized for his high price, he's now being compared to 2 great Chelsea icons. So what do you think? Will Caicedo really become a new Blues legend? Or is it too early to compare him to Kante and Makelele?
Guys, the atmosphere at Cobham is really lively. Due to the international break, several Chelsea players are not with the national team and are focusing on training at home. But wait, it's not just because they've been dropped, many are also recovering from injuries. According to the latest data, 10 senior players have been called up to the national team, like Estevan to Brazil and Enzo Fernandez to Argentina, but the rest staying in London to maintain their fitness and be ready to explode after the break. Also appearing at Tuesday's training session was Wesley Fofana, who recently returned from a concussion. Alongside him were Hato, Lavia, Chalaba, Bunanat, and Garnacho, all looking fit and in good spirits.
Meanwhile, Cole Palmer, Reece James, and Tosin Adarabayoyo are focused on getting back to full fitness. Caballero said they're fine, they just need some rest. So you could say this international break has truly been a healing camp for Chelsea. In 2 weeks, they'll be away at Nottingham Forest, so the question is, after this intense training, will Chelsea be even more solid?
Bro, there's a cool story from Cobham. Facundo Bononate admits he's learning a lot from Enzo Fernandez, whom he calls a fundamental pillar of Chelsea. Bononate is only 20 years old, on loan from Brighton last summer. He's not a regular starter yet, but he already scored in the Carabao Cup against Lincoln City. He said Enzo was the first person to text him when his transfer was official. He said, "I learn every day from Enzo. Everyone already knows he's an amazing player, but what's even better is that he's also a really cool person." Buonanotte is also close to Garnacho, who he says is incredibly impressive. And the reason he joined Chelsea? Simple. When a club as big as Chelsea comes calling, you can't refuse. Cole, bro, the Argentine aura is getting stronger in West London.
Bro, Moises Caicedo is finally on national leave. After his incredible performance against Liverpool, even becoming the hero in the 2-1 victory at Stamford Bridge, he was officially left out of Ecuador for the international break. Not because he was dropped, but because he wasn't fully fit. According to Ecuador coach Becazetse, Caicedo's condition was not well. But it's crazy, this kid still managed to play 90 minutes and score a rocket against Liverpool. Caballero said Caicedo had played too much since the Club World Cup, and Chelsea needed to catch the breath of their key players to prevent them from exploding mid-season. Luckily, Ecuador's only matches were friendlies against the USA and Mexico, so his absence wasn't a problem. Now, the focus is clear: rest, recover, and be ready to go wild again in the Premier League. But do you realize that without Caicedo, Ecuador's midfield could feel really hollow? Do you think the decision to leave Caicedo out was wise, or was it overly cautious?
Chelsea and Arsenal are about to clash again, but not on the pitch, but on the transfer market. The target? Barcelona's young midfielder, Marc Caicedo. Chelsea has reportedly made the first move, Enzo Maresca really wants this youngster to add depth to the central midfielder position, as Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez can't play every week. Caicedo is no ordinary player. He's a La Masia graduate, highly skilled, and understands playing with control and tight positions, perfect for Maresca's style, which favors patient but incisive play. The problem is, Barcelona needs money. They're ready to let Caicedo go if an offer in the range of 30 to 35 million euros arrives. And that's where Chelsea is starting to sniff out an opportunity. Meanwhile, Arsenal also doesn't want to be left behind. Arteta reportedly needs cover for the holding midfielder position, as Norgard isn't reliable long-term. This clash between the two London giants is very reminiscent of the Mudryk case, and we know who won that time. If Chelsea acts quickly, Caicedo could be a long-term investment, not just a backup. Barca gets money, Chelsea gets prospects, everyone's happy. The question now, bro, do you think Caicedo will be a smart investment for Chelsea, or will he just warm the bench like so many other young players?
Bro, this is a real shocker. Former Chelsea midfielder Oscar has spoken out about who he thinks is the face of Chelsea now. And guess who? Not Cole Palmer, but João Pedro. Oscar says Pedro has proven to be sharp since his time at Brighton, able to score goals with his head and feet and possessing a fighter's mentality. He says he believes Pedro deserves to be the symbol of the Blues. Yet many fans still believe Pedro is better suited to playing as a number 10, not a pure striker. Personally, I half agree. Pedro does have insane skills, but is it true that he could be the center of Chelsea's attack in the long term? So, do you think João Pedro deserves to be called the face of Chelsea, or is Cole Palmer more deserving?
Wow, bro, the transfer market is heating up again.
Michael Olise, Bayern's rising star winger, is now being sought after by 3 Premier League giants: Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester City. Olise is no ordinary player. 25 goals and 29 assists for Bayern since leaving Palace. Crazy how productive. Liverpool clearly wants him to help regenerate Mohamed Salah. But Chelsea? They came close to signing Olise before falling through, and now they're back again to try and steal the ball. City also doesn't want to be left behind. Pep Guardiola has always loved creative wingers. The problem is, Bayern are very relaxed. Olise's contract runs until 2029, so they're taking it easy. They're even preparing a new deal with a higher salary to keep their star at the Allianz Arena. The question is, bro, if Olise does return to the Premier League, would you rather have him playing for Liverpool, Chelsea, or Manchester City?
Chelsea are reportedly eyeing Manuel Locatelli, the Juventus captain who's been on fire in Serie A. According to journalist Pete O'Rourke, the Blues are among the clubs ready to battle it out with Newcastle and Leverkusen for the Italian midfielder. And it's no surprise, Locatelli is no ordinary player. His play is composed, his tackling precise, and his passing is immaculate. Exactly the type of player Maresca needs to maintain balance in the middle. His stats are also impressive. 12 tackles, 6 interceptions, 10 clearances, and a passing accuracy of almost 89%. Plus, he can play deep lying or box-to-box. Versatile, man. But the problem is, Juventus won't let go of their captain easily. They'll set a high price, especially since Locatelli is just entering his prime at 27. Now, the question remains, if you were Maresca, would you push Locatelli to become Chelsea's new anchor? Or would you focus on developing Caicedo and Enzo?
Bro, Rio Ferdinand finally spoke up. The Manchester United legend was asked, who's better, Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo? Both are now the driving force behind Arsenal and Chelsea. Rio said, if you let Rice go forward, he'll give you goals and creativity. But Caicedo, he can sense danger quicker, and his defense is top-notch. He honestly said there's very little difference, bro. In fact, he was clamoring for Manchester United to buy both of them before they left. Rio concluded firmly, if you want a holding midfielder, I'd pick Caicedo. But if you need an attacking number 8, Rice. 2 players with different styles, but both monsters in midfield. So, if you had to choose for your team, Caicedo or Rice, bro?